bits per second. That's really stupid. Wow. Yeah, I literally can't even hold the stream signal at all. Wow. That's, really stupid. Imagine having to cancel a birthday stream. Is this it? Is it working? Please stay working. Alright, there we go, please. Please. Alright, good, we got a signal. Frankly, there are still a lot of gray areas. Or rather, the whole thing is one big gray area. Don't worry about me. No matter what the outcome, I'm ready to accept my fate. I believe in you, sis. Well, Mr. Wright, let me offer you a word of advice. Yeah? A defense attorney should never believe their client. The defendant is called to trial because they are suspected of wrongdoing. Never forget that. Miss Sky, you remind me a lot of Mia. But there's one decisive difference between you and her. And that is, you're not a defense attorney. I believe it's almost time for the trial. Good luck, Mr. Wright. My first trial without Faye helping me? No one's gonna bail on me this time. I'll be alone in there. So I have to discover the truth all by myself. Let's do it, Mr. Wright. I'll be with you the whole way. February 23rd, 10 a.m. District Court, courtroom number 9.
Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lena Sky.
The defendant is ready, Your Honor. Prosecution has been ready for a while, Your Honor. Edgeworth. It's been 2 months, but I haven't been in a courtroom since his trial. I hope that personal feelings will not be a part of the proceedings today, Mr. Wright. I will choose the path I think is right, regardless of what those around me say. Judgment will be made here in our hands, not in those of anyone else.
Very well, Mr. Edgeworth, your opening statement, please.
Chief Prosecutor Lena Sky has committed an unpardonable crime. Not only this, but she was rash enough to commit it in the prosecutor's office lot. Wow, he's so much more forceful in person. I suddenly feel like confessing everything. However, she will now pay for her rashness with her life. There was a witness to her crime. A professional witness.
Well then, call your first witness, Mr. Edgeworth.
The prosecution calls its first witness, Miss Angel Star, to the stand. The cough-up queen?
Haven't I seen you somewhere?
You order the caviar lunch, right?
Caviar, I haven't eaten caviar before.
The judge is really wolfing it down. And for you, I have a Fiesta Bowl. Thanks? Will the witness please state her name and profession? Ah, and you, sir. Did you order the fingerprint lunchbox? It is too early for lunch, and your name and profession, please. Well, Your Honor?
Well, Your Honor.
Well, Your Honor, how does it taste?
So this is why everyone raves about caviar. It's so tasty, it hurts. I always thought caviar would taste like pickled tapioca.
What the heck does pickled tapioca even taste like? Name. Profession. Now. Me? The name is Angel Star. Don't go forgetting it. I find myself running Lunchland these days. Is that what you wanted to say to me, Mr. Edgeworth?
Very well, witness. Please describe the incident to us. The prosecution will wait. I'm not finished eating.
Hurry it up!
Very well, Mr. Edgeworth. As you know, we usually call on the police to provide a description of the crime.
Your Honor, as Mr. Edgeworth has said to the court, I am a professional.
What exactly does that mean?
Until 2 years ago, Miss Angel Star was a special investigator with the police. She was a first-rate homicide detective. What? Wait, Miss Star was a detective?
I know who you are, cough up.
Cough up, Queen Angel Star. Your Honor, long time no see.
Very well, you may continue the description, Mrs. Star.
Just who is this lady? If I might have the court's attention over here. The parking lot at the prosecutor's office is divided up into 2 blocks. A block for the prosecutor's office personnel. B block is for the visitors and clients. A chain divider separates the 2 blocks. I suppose that's to keep the visitors from taking up prosecutor's spaces, The crime took place by a car in the back of A block, in the trunk's car. Killer stabbed the victim with a knife and then went to drive the body out. Fortunately for her, there was a witness, and the arrest was made on the spot.
And who was this valiant witness?
Why, it was me, Your Honor. Parking lot floor plans added to court record.
Witness, did you see the very moment of the crime?
Of course, Your Honor. Immediately after that, I apprehended the chief prosecutor.
Seems rather cut and dry, doesn't it? Well, Mr. Wright?
I can't agree on that, Your Honor.
Seems that some poor losers
are unwilling to accept the truth, Your Honor. Shall I proceed to crush that little hope they have remaining?
If you can, then give them your worst, Mrs. Star.
Wait, are you talking about me? Alright, I definitely need to save. Save the game, yes. Also, I need to send out that I'm tweeting.
Alright, whatever. It's good enough.
Hope we get the internet back. Please work. Alright, there we go. We back, bros. Alright. Somehow I always knew a day like this would come. I was on my way to deliver a lunchbox to my boyfriend. When I sensed something, perhaps it was my finely honed detective's intuition at work. Through the wire fence, I saw the chief prosecutor standing next to a garish car. The chief prosecutor was holding a knife in her right hand. Then she thrust the pointing tip of the knife into the Detective Goodman's chest.
Bringing a lunchbox to your boyfriend? How touching.
As you can see, there is no room for doubt.
The key point of your testimony seems to be nothing other than the point of the knife which you saw being stabbed into Detective Goodman.
So, how does it feel to be utterly crushed? I'm still thinking about that. It's merely a flesh wound, Mr. Wright.
Very well, Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness.
Dang, why is the internet jumping up and down like that? Dude, what the heck? Wow, my internet's doing gymnastics over here. Wow. What the heck? Hold on. Let's find a good spot for my phone to be so it gets good signal. Oh, wait. No, I'm losing frames again. I don't understand this, dude. Alright, I think it's fine now. We'll see. Alright, question. How did you know? I respect the prosecutor's basic abhorrence of the crime, yet their methods are ugly and twisted. Twisted methods will always lead to tragedy. The lunch lady's uniformed opinion is duly noted. Given that they are used to erasing inconvenient evidence at their whim. Wow, still dropping hella frames here, dude. Huh. Killing off a detective that knew too much is merely an extension of that. Miss Star, do you have something personal against the prosecutors? I feel that I found my dream job when I became an investigator, and if I hadn't been laid off by those prosecutors over there, I'd still be one. Laid off? She was fired? Tell me, prosecutors. To me, prosecutors are nothing more than worms. That said, I am a pro, as you know. My testimony is unbiased and flawless.
Very well, you may continue, Mrs. Store.
I was on my way to deliver a lunchbox to my boyfriend. You want to start something? Wait. Hold on, quick. Who is this boyfriend? Dodo. This boyfriend, he's a detective? Not that boyfriend, the security guard. That boyfriend, do you have several? Yes, this boyfriend, that boyfriend, and the other boyfriend. Care to join? The yet another is still open for applications. I'll stick with the lunches, thank you. Note yourself, the judge had to think before replying. The security guard's room isn't a lot. Okay. It's up on the second level, so you can see everything from there. That would be the room with the security sign. Incidentally, did you bring your lunchboxes by car? Since I'm a visitor now, I parked in Block B. So, she was in B Block when she witnessed the crime. Oh gosh, shut up, dude. My stupid internet's dying again. Why? Stop it! Please! Let's try something else. Let's move my phone. Oh, there we go. I got a signal. It worked. It works. Yay! I think maybe stay that way, please. Alright, how about that? Do it! Nope. Lost the signal again. Alright, never mind then. Nope, still not working. You know, just once I kind of wish my internet would actually work. Wow. I don't have any signal at all right now. Wow, dude, look at that. 0 kilobits a second. I think it's a record, dude. Wow. Speaking about this, can I like balance my phone like this? Wait, what? That works? Why does that work? Alright, let's try it like this for a little bit. Alright, whatever. Alright, should work. Oh. Hey, Nicole. Wait, hey Nicole, are you the Nicole that I know in real life, or are you someone else? Anyway, I felt like, how would you say, oh yes, it was like the feeling you get when you view a pumpkin chock full of seeds.
I have no idea what that means.
Speaking of a detective's intuition, wasn't the victim Mr. Bruce Goodman also a detective?
Young cheese.
Pale white cheese not yet tangy with experience of the streets, a greenhorn.
It must be hard. Then I must be a hard and yellow cheese, as sharp as a tack.
Anyway, I don't know if you're still here since we had some issues earlier with the stream, with the internet signal, but thanks for the good wishes, Nicole. Yeah, with the order of an old cheese to match? In any case, there was a lot. I felt something stirring in the back of my mind. Alright, what about this one? By garish car, you mean Mr. Edgeworth's car, yes.
Mr. Edgeworth.
Incidentally, the knife from which the victim was stabbed was also Mr. Edgeworth's, wasn't it?
Indeed it was.
What an odd case this is. And the people you saw, are you sure it was the defendant? I saw her from no further than 30 feet away. I am certain it was her. If she's telling the truth, we're doomed. Let's just do what we can. Even if we don't have any proof, we can always nitpick. Witness. In your testimony, you clearly stated the following. Prosecutors are nothing more than worms. That means you're a biased witness. You might want to keep your silly opinions to yourself in the future, Rookie. Huh? Rookie? Unless you're willing to risk the consequences of doubting me. I'll fry you into a fritter, crispy on the outside, chewy on the inside.
That was inspiring.
I believe I've heard that tagline somewhere. You could cry plagiarism? I may be relegated to the lowly post of lunch lady, but my instincts are honed. A phonograph? You took this? The moment I witnessed the crime, my reflexes took over and snapped, I took a picture. In fact, one of my lunchboxes is rigged with a camera. I suppose that's more exciting than just hanging it around your neck. Witness. Why am I only seeing this photograph now? You think I'd show it to you, prosecutor? Think again. Oh yeah, I still don't have an internet signal right now, do I?
Oh, brother.
There we go, let's try moving this again. Oh. Alright, I guess no one's watching right now. That's fine. It's not like I'm doing anything right now, anyway. That's fine. Well, Oh well. My boyfriend works in the photography division of criminal affairs.
Well, this is most certainly the defendant.
Photograph of the crime. A moment of the crime photograph by Angel Star. Oh, that is unmistakably Lena Sky.
So what was the defendant doing at the time?
You know what? I'm just gonna ask. No one's watching right now, so I don't think anyone will mind if I do some research a second. Alright. Alright, let's look at my evidence a minute. Died within an hour and a half of 4 p.m. Victim's memo found in the car trunk. Parking lot with Edgeworth's car. Alright, let's look at this. Oops, no, that was a mistake. I didn't mean to do that. Oh, brother. Alright. So what about this knife?
A block, B block. Alright, so he was here, she was here. Alright. Yo, thanks for the follow, Dusty Gloop and Nicole. Alright, what do we do here? Present the crime photo. Oh, I see. Yeah, that makes sense. Alright, let's see here. Yeah, okay. Objection! Wait, what? That's what it was. Wait, hold on. Oh, I see. I'm stupid. That's not even what I meant to click. I meant to click the crime photo. What? Why? Am I clicking this wrong? What the heck? Alright. Present crime photo on 5th or 6th statement. This is weird, dude. Alright, whatever. Alright, let's skip this dialogue real quick. Yeah, I'm... Alright. Skip. I am skipping this.
Alright, there we go. Now let's save the game again. Much better, much better. Alright. Alright. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so the final one looks like it is. That's 6 statements. And what do we do here? Crime photo. And you witnessed this. You saw Mrs. Sky stab the victim with the knife. As I've already said, yes. As I've already said, yes, I swear I've done my finest salmon sword at lunch.
I'm sure that is a fine lunch.
But isn't that odd? Look at this photograph. This is the photograph you took at the very moment of the crime, is it not? Then why is Mrs. Sky not holding a knife? Objection. That to be the weakest objection I ever heard, Edgeworth. Yet, it was still stronger than your ever-feeble mind, Mr. Wright.
What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth?
This photograph was not taken the moment before the stabbing. This is the moment after the stabbing. And how can you tell that? Blood splatter. Huh? See the dark crimson stains on the blood on the chief prosecutor's coat? That is the... But it's a black and white photograph. Yes. It's hard to tell, but it could be blood. Well, Mr. Wright, there are no problems here. No problem, except for you. Mr. Wright, are you just gonna sit here and take all this kind of abuse? Oh, you got any better ideas? Wait, that contradicts what the testimony said in her testimony. Namely, that she took the picture the moment she witnessed the crime. Although it seemed that I was slightly unclear, my apologies. That's it? If you run out of lunch, you order seconds. Problem solved. If you don't like it, try ordering a jumbo-sized lunch from the get-go. Good advice. I'm not sure I understand it, but good advice. I don't have time to stop her. Prosecutor Sky was cold, calculating like a robot. She killed him without a pain or remorse. It was a premeditated murder. Premeditated? What? Look at the chief prosecutor's hands in that photograph.
Well,
Are those gloves? Surgical gloves made out of thin rubber, most likely. Why would she have those on? It was not premeditated. If it was not premeditated, she would not be wearing these gloves.
these gloves do seem to tell a tale of premeditation.
Witness.
Or witness at the state testimony.
Alright. Witness, do you know what this is? Are you trying to test me? I sell lunches for a living, you know. That's a knife. The knife. The knife that was in Mr. Edgeworth's trunk?
Indeed, it is my knife.
Bloody murder weapon, a red car, all belonging to the prosecutor there? Defendant is the chief. The defendant has a request. We ask that the witness to prove an accurate testimony. What's that, rookie? In your testimony, you said you stated that Elena Sky planned this murder, and that's why she was wearing these special gloves.
Seems like a natural conclusion to me. The gloves do indicate planning.
However, why would she not prepare the most important thing, the murder weapon? Oh. This knife just happened to be in the trunk of that car. Ladies and gentlemen,
We got him. Okay.
If you're gonna plan a murder,
You don't forget the weapon. Order, order, order.
great, now the tide's turning in our favor. Great show, Mr. Wright. Our sister's good as free.
Right.
I believe the next lunch you're eating is humble pie.
What?
I hope you weren't deluding yourself into thinking that the tide had turned.
Not over such trifling detail.
But this shoots a hole in the whole premeditated theory. The prosecutor could take care of it if it was less. The prosecution could take care of it if it was premeditated or not. The only one who seems to care is that lunch lady over there. The defendant, Elena Sky, murdered a detective with a knife. That is the only way the prosecution. That is the only thing the prosecution needs to prove, nothing else. Very good, Mr. Prosecutor. I suppose you think you're clever now. But you know as well as I do that she was planning on killing him. It was planned. If it wasn't, why would she...
I believe I'd like to hear your testimony again.
Witness, please tell us what you saw and not what you thought. How dare you? My powers of deduction are not to be underestimated. Really now? Alright. Alright. That's why she called the victim all the way to the prosecutor's office. I'm sure the chief prosecutor had a grudge against the victim. Nothing else could drive a human machine to plunge that knife in again and again.
The victim summoned from the police department to the prosecutor's office. It does sound a lot like premeditation, doesn't it?
So if I ordered a pizza, does that mean I'm planning to kill the delivery boy?
In any case, the defendant may now cross-examine the witness.
Alright. The autopsy report. Oops. A human machine? That's a contradiction. Please. Can't you find fault with something of substance, Mr. Wright? You could say again and again. How many times did she stab him exactly? We often say chop to 1,000 pieces, but we don't actually mean 1,000 pieces. What difference does it make if the deed is done? How come she's getting mad at me?
Let's just say she stabbed him several times and leave it at that.
Leave it at that. It's a murder case, people. Mr. Wright, you should speak up if you have an objection, you know. Miss Stars turned out to be as short-tempered as she looked when we met her. Challenging her abilities as a detective really set her off. Short wick burns the fastest, it's a scientific fact. I wonder, wouldn't it depend on the size of the candle? I mean, you add more wax and even a little bit of wick will burn longer. Obviously more scientific testing was required. Alright, what was the one? What was the autopsy report? Wait, was that not it? What the heck? Hold on. Hold it. Hold it! Alright, let's just put this back up here. Hopefully that'll work. Please tell me your internet good. That'd be really nice. Please. I don't know what's wrong with my internet right now. But I ain't getting no signal, bro. Yeah, my internet's just kinda dying. No! Oh, I know. How about like this? Does my internet get a signal this way? Yeah, that works. Awesome. Alright, let's hope my internet actually sticks around this time. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4. Autopsy report. You say she stabbed him again and again, but you couldn't have witnessed that. Are you testing me? Then I'll test you. This is my moss surprise.
I'm afraid the moss is growing under our feet as we wait, Mrs. Star.
What do you mean?
I shouldn't have to explain this, but take a look. Autopsy report states that death was due to a loss of blood from one stab wound.
You're right. Ah, good show, Mr. Edgeworth. What a hunk. He's my hero, really. What about my objection no one noticed?
Well, witness.
You got the crime scene set.
No thanks.
I always believed no one could ever mistake ketchup for blood, but now I realize mistakes are possible.
So, you're saying you mistook something for blood?
Splattered blood from her victim. That's why I thought she must have stabbed him at least twice.
Then, tell us what you saw that you thought was blood. Testify.
Her red muffler looked a lot like blood to me. That's how ghastly the whole scene was. Miss Star really turned out to be a short-tempered as she looked even better. Alright. Crime photo. This is just the same stuff. Alright. Injection! Miss Star, I demand an explanation. The witness is clearly not suited for detective work. What? The suspect was not wearing a scarf or muffler of any kind when she stabbed the victim. And you've proved it yourself with this photograph. Huh? But that can't be. Only a professional lunch lady would be so utterly clueless. Congratulations, perhaps you finally found your true calling in life.
Harsh words, but good.
In the end, Mr. Edgeworth prevails! What was my objection? Chopped liver? I was there! A scarf? No, not really. It was something red, really. Now, where were we? Witness has given us an entertaining interlude, but back to business. What?
Well, very well, witness. Continue your testimony. You saw the crime, and apprehended the suspect. Tell us about that.
Very well. I do remember some things accurately, at least. Ultimately, we couldn't take the most important part out of her testimony. The most important part? The part where your sister stabs the victim? This next testimony might just be the moment of truth. Apprehending the suspect. After the murder, the suspect attempted to run behind a partition off to her side. I quickly caught up to her, explained her rights to her, and arrested her on the spot. Oh yes, when I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. That's what had me confused in my earlier testimony. The chief prosecutor made me escape, but against Angel Star, resistance is futile.
You are quite determined about the scarf, aren't you?
I strike like a snake and bite like a cobra. That's me, Angel Star. That wasn't a very good metaphor. After all, a cobra is a kind of snake. Don't bother me with details unless you want to get bitten. No thanks. Note to self, Mr. Wright is weakest against poisonous snake bites. Chief prosecutor tried to resist, but all her efforts were in vain. She knocked my hands aside, kicked over an oil drum. An oil drum? It's hard to imagine. Oh, she's beautiful but deadly. A predator, this one. A leopard woman. Rare.
Very well, Mr. Wright. Your cross-examination, if you will.
Alright. Yeah, what is this? You say quickly, were you close to the suspect? As I just said, I was only 30 feet away from her the whole time. Maybe I should press her for more details. You'd like to I'd like to see this on our floor plans just to be safe. The lunch lady's car was... She was a visitor, thus she was parked in Block B. So you witnessed the murder from here. Would you like... That would make it about, what, 30 feet from the car? Is that correct, Mrs. Starr? Yes, that's quite right. There's a chain link fence in front of you. I went over it, of course. Amazing. The cough-up queen, lunch lady, athlete, indeed. It would have taken her a little while to climb over that fence. She couldn't have gotten to my sister that fast. Yeah, that fence was about 9 feet tall, high too. So how did Mrs. Sky not get away? Yes, when I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. Alright, press. Hold on, where's the chat? Oh, there it is. I'm back. I'm blind, dude. I'm blind, dude. She mentioned the muffler, but what exactly did she say? If I remember correctly, I believe I would have told you in my testimony. Cheeky. Anyway, after I heard her say the word muffler,
Just that one word.
so what you heard wasn't the suspect talking to you, it was to someone else. Yes, the chief prosecutor was talking on her phone. Her phone? She can't mean... By phone, you mean this cell phone discovered at the crime scene. Yes, ultimately, my memory is like a salmon heading upstream, you see.
No, the court does not see, Mrs. Starr.
Chief prosecutor's first attempt to use the phone hanging on the wall.
On the wall.
That's right. Near the car, there was an emergency phone on the wall. Apparently it was out of order, until she used her cell phone.
Indeed, the emergency cell phone was out of order that day.
Good witnessing, witness. Good witnessing? Whatever happened to good testifying?
You should of course add this to your testimony.
The things I do to please this rookie defense attorney. I saw it all. Alright. Alright, hold it. Do you think you could restate your testimony for the court?
Aha! I was going to ask the same thing.
I only said this one time, so listen closely, rookies. I'll only say this at one time. Alright, there we go. Chief prosecutor stabbed the victim and ran behind the partition. She picked up the emergency phone on the wall, but it was out of order. So she pulled out her own cell phone out of her pocket. And during the time, you climbed over the chain link fence. And when you boldly grabbed her arm, Chief prosecutor hung up her phone. And you saw her doing this. Who's this, Mr. Wright? I don't follow. Alright, so if we're gonna present the floor plan to prove it would have been really dumb for her to actually climb that wall. So it's this one, I think. What the heck? Wait.
Oh. Alright, well, that's not my fault. Oh. Alright, I think I know what to do. I think I know what to do, bro. I saw it all. Floor plane. There we go.
Mrs. Star, I have to conclude that you have a personal grudge against Miss Selena Sky.
The witness is a former detective. Her testimony is unmarred by personal bias.
Well, who would have thought you'd be my knight in shining armor, prosecutor? You who, together with the chief prosecutor, kicked me out 2 years ago.
Well, Mrs.
Star, this is a fatal contradiction from your testimony. How do you explain this? I don't know what you're talking about. Mess with me and I'll make you cough it up. All up. Let's look at the floor plans. You said you witnessed the crime from this point. However, if that's true, you couldn't possibly have seen Mrs. Sky making it to the phone, making that phone call. I believe you see where I'm getting at. That emergency phone on the back side was on the back side of this partition. If indeed you were in B block, you couldn't have seen it. What? Ah!
Order, what is the meaning of this?
It's simple, Your Honor. She's not coughing up lunch, she's coughing up lies. Oof! Ah! That's quite a claim, Mr. Wright. Perhaps you will allow me a question. Tell us exactly what lie this witness has told in the court. Oh, well, here's where the counterattack begins. I can't afford to get this wrong. The witness lied about... What am I doing? She lied about what she saw, where she saw it, the order of events. Oh, dude. It could be any of these, for real. Mrs. Sky tried to use the emergency phone, but it was out of order. What is significant about this fact? Nothing. Therefore, it would be pointless for Mrs. Star to lie about it.
Pointless to lie, I see.
But say the witness did actually see Mrs. Sky using the emergency phone. Mrs. Star witnessed the crime from a different location. A different location? Now that's a pointless lie if I've ever heard one. Before you call my lie pointless, at least tell me it. Tell me it.
Asking me a question to our clever wordsmith, Mr. Wright. Just where was the witness when she saw the crime?
All the testimony we've heard up until now points in one direction. Place where Mrs. Star witnessed the crime was here, because she was delivering to her boyfriend. This is the only place where she could have saw it.
The security guard room. Indeed, the security room is...
Indeed, the security room's underground parking lot is well positioned. It's built on the second floor, so you can see the entire lot.
You would have to be able to see the emergency phone from there. But why there? There are so many other places you could have seen the phone.
Not in this case, Your Honor. The witness, not being a part of the prosecutor's office, couldn't park in A block. The only place where she could have seen the crime and the back of the partition is here. I remember in your testimony you said you brought a lunch to your boyfriend in the security room, yes? Well, Mrs. Starr, how many years have I been getting the better of men? Do you think that the tables could have turned? Today, a man has got the better of Angel Starr.
Order, witness. What have you done? You used to be a detective. You should know better.
I'm not turning back. The guilty will be punished, and I'll do my best to make sure justice prevails. Guilty? Is he talking about Mrs. Sky? Mr. Wright, doesn't this strike you as odd? Why did Mrs. Starr lie? It doesn't make any sense. She could have just said she saw the crime from the security guard station. It wouldn't change anything. Exactly. This photograph tells all. It was the defendant who stabbed the victim. Truth still stands. Still stands? I disagree, Mr. Edgeworth. What? If witness is found to be lying, they're guilty of perjury. She knows this. She wouldn't risk that without a good reason.
So tell us what her reason was, Mr. Wright.
Huh? Oh, me? Who else? Mr. Wright, let's review what we know. Alright. Mrs. Starr witnessed the crime from the security guard station. But she lied and said she saw it from B block. It must have made a vital difference. But what would change? Distance the crime. It changed the distance between her and the scene of the crime.
My condolences, Mr. Wright. But one look at the floor plan and it's quite clear.
The distance between the scene of the crime and the guard station is 30 feet. I don't see how that would change what she could see. What she saw is not in question here. What matters is the time it would take for her to reach the scene of the crime. Mr. Starr, you witnessed the crime from the security guard station. Now, how long did it take you to go from there to the scene of the crime where you arrested Mrs. Sky?
Well, witness.
Yes? You ordered the squid wheels, right? The quality of your lunches has gone from low to inedible. I was bringing a PB&J lunch with fresh boysenberry jam to my boyfriend.
Boysenberry for the boyfriend.
He wasn't in the station, so I waited. I witnessed the crime from the glass-walled station. What? And before I knew what I was doing, I found myself running towards the scene. But the door was locked. I couldn't open it.
What is he doing? Bruh.
That's why I had to go through the visitors parking in B block.
Well, that's quite a detour.
It probably took me at least 5 minutes to get to the scene of the crime. 5 minutes?
This changes things considerably.
But it was that woman over there in the defendant's chair who stabbed him. I knew it. I have photographic evidence. I swear it. I swear it on my finest plastic spork.
You have a point, and the spork is a wonderful invention. Alright, let's save.
Would you like another caviar lunch?
Absolutely.
Oh no. Mr. Wright, you have to do something. Do I have any evidence to stop this? Oh. 5 minutes between the witnessing of the murder and the arrest? Think about it. You could make pasta in that amount of time. If you like it al dente. I've got lunchboxes that tie pasta into Natsu, rookie. A 5-minute blank? Isn't that strange? Strange. If you were a criminal, what would you do with 5 minutes, Your Honor?
Well, I guess I'd flee the scene, yeah? Don't get the wrong idea, I mean...
But you have the instincts of a killer. You would run. This time was different. Mrs. Sky dawdled at the scene of the crime. She hadn't even taken the picture yet. No true criminal would act this way. It's inconceivable. You... Ah!
Ooh, well then, it seems to have come to the end of this testimony. The witness has a grudge against the defendant. The blank in her testimony. Mr. Edgeworth is the next witness ready to go.
Unfortunately, it appears to have underestimated this witness on her account of her professional history. We did it! We screwed that one! We screwed that can shot, Mr. Wright!
Well, that was too close. I'm afraid that the cough-up queen has been dethroned, and with that, court is adjourned.
What? Why? Mr. Edgeworth, you ordered the squid wheels, alright? That's the one she tried to foist off on me. I prefer not to take the defense team's leftovers. Anything else to say? I might not have been able to save you. I have decisive evidence.
What was that?
Is this another one of her trick lunchboxes?
My apologies, but we have no further questions to ask of you, Mrs. Starr.
Oh. Is this your jumbo lunchbox?
Woohoo, a triple-decker! Out of deference to the witness's determination, I'll allow one more testimony. Let's hear about this decisive evidence.
Like the Lunchland motto says, you won't be disappointed. What you gonna pull out of her lunchbox this time? I should have mentioned those 5 minutes when I was looking at the crime scene. And now, to the matter of the victim's shoe. Did I not bring this up? 2 types of blood were found on this shoe. One was, of course, the victim's, and the other blood type matched that of the defendant, Miss Lena Sky. This shoe proves that it's flawless. Decisive evidence.
What? Well, there was blood found on that shoe?
Try Lunchland for all of your lunch and decisive evidence needs. Witness, what's the meaning of this? Why is this the first time I've heard of this evidence? Simple, as I've already said. I don't trust you with evidence, Mr. Edgeworth. That's why I took the liberty of investigating this myself.
And you had blood tests performed.
Didn't I mention I have 3 boyfriends in forensics? In any case, Your Honor, I can't accept this as evidence. What? You know that 2 rules of evidence law. 1, no evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. In other words, this shoe is illegal evidence, at least for the time being. Is that right, Mr. Wright? Seems so. Edgeworth sure is celebrating. Not so fast, Mr. Edgeworth. Don't forget, I used to be a detective, and I mentioned previously, this shoe had already been tested by a member of the forensics department. As you can see, it is approved by the police department as of today. Evidence, or even the general public can produce official evidence, Mr. Edgeworth. Is it right, Mr. Wright? Seems so. Edgeworth is looking pretty sullen. Could at least study some evidence law, really.
Prosecution complaints notwithstanding, it appears that this evidence satisfies the first rule of evidence law. However, it seems that you have yet another count against you, witness. And anything to ensure that the guilty were properly judged. Victim's shoes added to the court record. Very well, Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness.
Alright.
Time to see...
Why did you lie about 5 minutes? I guess you could say I just wanted people to look at the results. The results? How many times do I have to say this? I know the chief prosecutor stabbed the victim before my very own eyes. Compared to that, a fire in a blank means nothing.
Why don't you just tell the truth?
Don't make me laugh. We're dealing with the most untrustworthy of the file, known as prosecutors. Falsifying evidence, arranged testimonies, erasing, manipulating evidence. When you fight monsters, you need to use every trick in the book. Every trick in the book. This is when the suspect is admitting she did it?
But false testimony is the most despicable crime of all, Mrs. Star. Let's just get this over with. Alright, what is this one? Hey,
Was this one? Unfortunately for you, this shoe is far from being a decisive evidence, or perfect evidence.
what?
The shoe directly contradicts what we know about the crime. The shoe doesn't fit.
Order.
You're claiming that a contradiction. You're claiming that there's a contradiction with this shoe. As I said, the shoe doesn't fit what we know about the scene of the crime.
Very well, let's hear what Mr. Wright has to say about the shoe. What about the shoe contradicts what we know about the crime?
Show us the problem with the evidence.
Yeah, bro, it's the on the bottom of the shoe, yeah.
Wait, can I not move the mouse? The problem lies in the footprint. The footprint. Note that the bottom of this victim's shoe is covered in blood. Then, isn't it strange? Why weren't any bloody footprints found at the scene of the crime?
Uh-huh.
As you can see, there was no traces of any footprints in the scene of the crime. That contradicts your claim about the shoe.
This contradicts. The picture only shows parts of the floor. There could have been bloody footprints.
Then where are they, Mr. Edgeworth? Because we checked the scene and found nothing of the sort. Bruh, dude.
Order. Well, witness.
What? Good going, Mr. Wright, but it's true that the lack of footprints is contradiction. But then we have to ask why there wasn't a footprint. Oh!
That's true. There has to be a reason why there wasn't a footprint.
Think, Mr. Wright, think. Hey! I don't know why it's not here. I'm just good at finding contradictions. What? I see. Now I get it. Get what? Our witness is more devious than I give her credit for. We were hoodwinked to the very end. But she slipped. There was one vital hint to the truth in her testimony.
What are you talking about?
Think back to when she told us about apprehending the suspect. The chief prosecutor tried to resist, but her efforts were in vain, so she knocked my hands aside, knocking over an oil drum. Oh, she's beautiful, but she's deadly. A predator, this one, a leopard woman. Rawr. I thought that was a strange thing for the normal, cool-headed chief to do. No kidding. Now, witness, allow me to ask a very simple question. This oil drum, was it empty? Oh, I'm not sure I like your attitude, Mr. Edgeworth. Well, apparently you're not the slowest conveyor belt in the lunchbox factory.
Witness. Well, was the oil drum empty?
Oil drum kicked over by the chief prosecutor was brimming with water. Water? What does that mean? So don't get it, Mr. Wright? You want to know the real reason she knocked it over? The real reason? Uh-huh. Wait, you don't mean... Yes, the suspect knocked over that oil drum for one reason and one reason alone. To erase the bloodstains that would have been evidence against her. What?
Well, that ties things up nicely.
Bloody stain left on the victim's shoes tie her
tie quite clearly to this murder. Then after the deed was done, she knocked over the oil drum to erase the telltale signs.
Why, what a prosecutor's specialty, erasing evidence. That reminds me, Miss Sky's right hand was hurt. Didn't she say she'd been cut herself when she stabbed him? So then, what? My sister... So, that's when my sister's blood got on that shoe.
Well, I see no reason to prolong this trial.
Mr. Wright, do something, please! Wait, what? What can I do? Your sister has confessed to the crime and she's trying to conceal it. But...
Enough. There's no need for further debate. The verdict, Your Honor. Very well.
But Angel Star's on the prosecution's side. She could have been lying about the water.
Court finds the defendant has slain this guy.
What? Little girl, what did you just say? Huh? Me? Did you say that Angel Star, was on the prosecution's side? Well, yeah, you are. You're saying my sister hid evidence by erasing the bloody footprints. Well, I thought you had your fill, but here you are demanding a second helping. Another lunchbox called evidence.
Wait, witness, don't tell me you have something else.
The time for deliberations has passed. Any further comments, you will be held in contempt of court. Your threats don't scare the cop up, please. Look at this. A photograph. I had it just in case someone had the gall to suggest that the white shoe didn't belong to the victim.
There's no room for error in this evidence.
It's right. Wait, look at this asphalt in this photo. Hey, it's clearly wet.
Erasing the last trace of doubt from the court's mind. Immediately after the murder, the crime scene was washed with water.
I'm sorry, Mr. Wright. I guess I couldn't help after all.
It's not your fault. I couldn't win this case from the beginning. And it seems that Scissors did it.
I'm sorry, Mia. Right, wet or not, don't be so quick to throw in the towel. Get yourself up on the asphalt. Take another good look. Don't give up. Not until the bitter end. This is the last piece of evidence.
Very well. This time I'd like to declare a verdict for good.
Your Honor, wait.
What is it? What is with you people?
Why can't you just hand down my verdict in peace anymore?
Whatever it is. Can you wait?
No, I can't. Then it will be too late. Look at this photograph. The last one submitted. This trial isn't over until we give each piece of evidence proper consideration.
So, Mr. Wright, are you saying that there is a problem with this latest piece of evidence?
Yeah. I'll think later. Right. There is a problem.
Right or wrong, I've got to go ahead with this one.
I suppose since we've come this far, we should give each claim a fair shake.
Very well, Mr. Wright. Show the court the problem with this evidence.
Oh, no. The problem is in this photograph. It's here.
What's this?
There's something poking out of the car's muffler.
Wait a moment. Wait a moment. Mr. Edgeworth.
Your Honor.
You just said muffler. However, I see no trace of a muffler or scarf of any kind in the photograph.
A muffler is also a part of a car or a motorcycle, Your Honor. Just think of it as part of the exhaust system, a pipe.
I see, and I see.
What's this? What's the
suspicious-looking cloth sticking out of the car's muffler?
So what if there is something sticking out of the muffler? What does it mean? What does it have to do with this case? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Sorry, Mrs. Star, but it's not going to be that easy. In fact, you've already told us why this is important to the case. You said as much in your testimony. What? Let's see what Mr. Wright has on his mind. Tell us why you think this piece of evidence, piece of cloth in the muffler, is related to the case. Miss Starr, recall your testimony for the court. Oh yes, when I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. That's what that's what had me confused in my earlier testimony. Muffler. Ugh. Ugh. Could it be the muffler you heard mentioned? What actually was actually this exhaust pipe? If so, that means this piece of evidence is vital evidence.
Well, seems we have to suspend the proceedings.
Suspend?
I find myself wondering about that piece of cloth. If we have any questions if we leave any questions unanswered, then we will be doing a disservice to the law. Have the car at the crime scene inspected at once and bring me that cloth. The verdict will wait until after we've seen all the evidence. Agreed?
I suppose so.
Well,
That was close. But we made it, I guess.
court will be adjourned for a 30-minute recess. It's lunchtime after all.
You still hungry? To be continued. Alright. Save progress? Yes. Oops, yes, save. Alright. I'm gonna be done now.
Thank you, anybody who's still watching.
See you probably tomorrow. Who knows? Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of tired. I'm just gonna go to bed. Be done. But yeah, see you, everybody. Thanks for watching. See ya. Bye!